Alright guys, I'm in my truck. It's I don't know, let me see, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's the 6th of July, my wife's birthday, so happy birthday, babe. I don't ever do videos in uniform, but I figured today was a special case. I'm not wearing the uniform anymore, I'm taking it off. So I picked up my DE-214 today and ready to get back to New York and get along with things. So that's all. Just real quick, guys, want to say, something about it. Alright, take care. Alright guys, hopefully you can hear me over this loud ass air conditioner. Here's another piece I picked up the other day. Just have it, trying to think, I haven't had the E-tank set up in a while. They kind of gave me crap for having it on my porch. But I think it's a Wagner, number 8. 10 and, 10 and a quarter, 10 and a half, made in USA, so it's a newer, or newish one. Really smooth bottom by the looks, as you can see the machine marks. It definitely needs to be clean, but I want to get a, so you can see part of the 8, I think. And I think I've got another one that's almost identical to this, but one of them has a crack, one of them is really warped. So I figured bought this at the Goodwill for like $6.50 or something like that. And then they had like a discount or whatever, so it was like less than $5 or somewhere around there. So it'll be a good cleaner upper. And I really do like my other one that I use because they're so light. I think my favorite one so far, though, as far as like a user, is the favorite PK or whatever the hell they're called. That one's a nice one. But I'll just throw this clip in with another video so you guys can watch and enjoy. Alright YouTube, you can tell I'm not in Texas anymore. I'm actually home in New York. So here's the latest project. Got everything moved in, and then I'm going to be using this barn at my mom's house for a like storage or like a little garage. So gotta clean all that crap out. So that's what I'm doing today. Yesterday unloaded everything. It was nice having family here to help. With all this tall grass, we had to weed whack it down. Now we gotta pick through and make sure there's no rocks or boards and whatever the fuck else could be in there. Get it all out. So the plan is to clean this out, move the good stuff upstairs for storage. Just little stuff like this, people don't want to get rid of. It's got a partial floor in here. Fucking birds in here. Scrape the shit out of me. So partial floor here. I don't know how well you can see it, but match it the rest of the way across. So I gotta get this snowmobile out and gas grills and all this other garbage. We'll take it all out, move the good stuff upstairs because there isn't upstairs, and then the rest of the stuff we'll just go ahead and take her to the dump. And then over here, we had this little roof here when I was younger for it was like a little shade spot for the horses. Their water trough was down there or something, some sort of storage. I can't really remember. So rather than letting it go to waste, I'm just gonna throw some quick walls on it, and maybe just throw a tarp around it, or a tarp window, or a door, and then I can park the 3-wheelers in there. So I can hopefully fit 2. It's not quite very long. The good thing about the 3-wheelers is that they'll crisscross, the front tires run together, but it won't be perfect, but it'll be better than what we have now. Then I'll take you guys over and show you a little bit later. Yeah, see all this stuff I gotta get rid of? Just all of it's gotta go to the scrapyard. But I'll take you guys over later and show you the rest of the 3-wheelers. It's the first time all of my 3-wheelers have been in the same spot together. So putting Big Red to work. Wish the battery worked. I had to quit kickstarting it. But that's what you get for storing it for so long. Borrowed my grandpa's trailer to clean some trash out. So next time you guys see this, hopefully it'll be all cleaned out and we'll be working on the floor. Wish me luck. I don't know how well I showed you guys before, but slowly but surely I'm getting there. All these windows and doors gotta go. Thing is full of bees nests in here. I don't like to kill bees because I know they're good for the environment. Should figure out what I'm gonna do with this old snowmobile. A lot of this stuff here is garbage. I'll take you upstairs real quick and show you this mess up here. See if I can get you. I don't know if you can see that from there or not. A big old bee's nest. And then all up in there, there's just more and more and more. Haven't seen any bees coming in and out of them, so I don't think it's very active. But I see some coming in over there behind that wall. So we'll see. But we'll get this all cleaned out. Hopefully, get rid of all these boards and start building the floor. Step 1 is getting it clean though. But alright, we'll check back in with you guys in a bit. Alright YouTube, so here's the update. Here's the half floor that was already in here. I think my dad had just put this in here just for, there was like a gate here across, and kept the grain and stuff back here. And then, of course, the stairs. But there's some patchwork to be done eventually or whatever. But for now, I'm just going to work on the floor. So there was a lot of stuff in here. So I'm going to have to pull off that bottom layer of board probably to get to the, I think it was like cedar 8x8 on the bottom. That's what I'm going to rest my floor joist on. So we'll get that taken care of as soon as I get some lumber. Hopefully call the guy and get some lumber today, and we'll get started. But yeah, a lot of stuff to clean out. Here's the stuff I still gotta either put back upstairs or throw away. And then of course we got it all weed whacked out here. We'll clean it all up once we're done and then hit it with a lawnmower. But yeah, the truck's full. That's what I'm up doing now, getting ready to head to the dump. So we'll see you guys a little bit later. Take you for a ride on the 125 or something. I got a new battery in it. So we'll see you guys in a bit. Alright YouTube, so here we are. I picked up some lumber. Got some rough cut 2x4s and 1x10s. I tore all this stuff here, was on the wall. I tore all of it off. Now I'm starting to get I need to get the threshold built so I can run my stringers this way. Got a little bit of rot in here that I gotta deal with. But I got it all cleaned out in here and dug out to where I got a good 4 or 5 inches of clearance hopefully underneath the board so that are up off the ground. Got my tools hung up a little bit and we're getting there. So I'm gonna light this stuff on fire over here just to get rid of it. Well, here we are YouTube, got a floor in. Didn't do much taping so I was trying to be in such a hurry because there's nothing but rain out, as you can see all the mud. But trying to get her in. Now we're gonna start working on benches and shit and shelves and stuff like that. Rough cut. Got her all in anyway. Now we gotta work on a set of doors today. And then probably try to see if we can figure out this lean-to here. Just so I can have a spot to park some more stuff. But so to give you guys a quick update, I'm not a carpenter, but my grandpa and my dad came over and helped me. Had my son out here a little bit, so it was a little bonding project. It turned out pretty good. For what it is, it's an old barn, so. But we get one shelf hung up. Of course, my tools. Starting to bring more and more stuff out. It ends up being about 13 by 20, so it's good length. Alright, see you guys in a bit. Alright YouTube, looks we got some doors. I still gotta do these cross pieces here, like the diagonal, give it more strength. I did one 40-inch door and then the other one's about 30. Leave one closed most of the time. But throw some batten strips on them and probably oil stain them or something. But show you guys I'm getting progress. Now I can start really moving stuff out here. Gotta get something figured out here off a wet spot. But I'll give you an update here in a little bit. What's going on YouTube? Got the big rat in here. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the gas tank and see if I can figure out this petcock. What I'm doing right now is actually draining the petcock, and I realized just as I'm doing it, I don't know if the petcock's getting kind of clogged up every once in a while when you shut it off and then you go to restart it, it doesn't want to start, and then you pull the plug and it's not wet. So I don't think it's getting fuel. I don't know if it's, I know there's a screen up in here, and then I pulled the bowl off a couple times and it was right full of garbage. I knew the tank and the inside of this was kind of dirty, so I've been wanting to clean it anyway. But now that I've got it draining, I can see if, you know, usually the one that, see, that's reserve. That's a reserve and it's not leaking anything, so you know it's at least clogged on the reserve side. So, got her going into a bucket here as best I can. And I know there's a screen up in here. I don't know if that screen's clogged or if it's the pickups in here that are clogged. And also I think someone's repainted this cap, so I don't know if that messed with, or if I gotta take it apart and see if I can get the vent to work. I thought before that maybe the vent wasn't working, so now's a good time to check it. So I can kind of judge the stream. See, I had it centered before, so I don't know if it's running out of air, if it's actually running out of fuel. So we'll see, but I'm gonna get this thing cleaned out. Ordered a couple of knockoff petcocks. I'm gonna still try to fix this one anyway. So we'll see what happens. I'll get back with you guys here in a little bit. Alright guys, I think I figured out why I wasn't running the best. It actually ran good and held a really good idle. I just was starving for gas. And here's the problem. So we'll get this cleaned up and see if we can fix it. If not, then I'll throw one of the new knockoff ones in. I normally, especially for this three-wheeler, order nothing but OEM parts. But for the Petcock, friggin', it was $49 plus shipping, so it would have been $50 or $60 said and done. So I went ahead and got two cheaper ones for 20 bucks off of eBay. I don't really like the looks of them because they're cheap kind of junk, but if they last for a little while and I have to switch it to the other one, or maybe if I could take one apart and get the seal or something like that I need for this one, then I'll be better off. So we'll get this cleaned up and we'll get this thing soaking. Alright YouTube, I'm trying to get you a shot in here. See if you can. There you go. Pretty dirty stuff. So I do have a fix for it. I've done it before and it works pretty good. As you can see, once I got it off, I'm going to probably, sorry guys, check the valve clearances, change the oil. I pulled the spark plug out. She was pretty black, so I might try to lean it out a little bit on the carburetor if I can figure that out. Not the biggest carburetor guru, but you know, I can pull a plug and tell you when it's running rich. That's the carburetor I cleaned last year, but she's been getting used up here. And then, as much as I absolutely can't stand it, I bought a can of slime or Fix-A-Flack. This tire here goes flat after a while, so I'll put a can in there. Hopefully I don't ever have to take them off. But this one here the other day I did. This is the 84 125M. I bought a battery for it last year, never got a chance to put it in. But my uncle kept it in his garage and he kept it charged all winter. So I threw that in. What else did I do? I built a gasket here. Had a bad gasket there and I had let a little bit of water in there. Changed the oil, and then I had ordered a carburetor rebuild kit as well last time when I was home. So I rebuilt the carburetor, changed the oil, tightened the chain, checked the gaskets on the back part for the chain cover, and I tightened it up just a hair because it wasn't really loose. It still had the packaging lube or whatever they have on, that real sticky shit that they send those chains in or whatever. I'm sure it was something I ordered online. And then I just lubed it up and tightened it or whatever. Double checked the air. It sucks because I did paint these rims a while back. This is like maybe the second through I bought, and I wasn't really. I just wanted to make them look a little bit better, and obviously it didn't last. So if I did it again, I'd prime them and put a bunch of coats on there and then clear coat them. But yeah, electric start works and she's running a whole lot better. The gas tank on this one's always been really clean, so I kept it nice and full. And it was foul on plugs last year, but the carburetor had never been rebuilt, and I did more sitting than anything. So now she's getting used a little bit. See my seat's starting to seam out right there. That's an original seat, so maybe I could pull that back and restaple it, or I think that actually might be a metal pan, so I don't know. We'll figure something out. Here's a little trailer that I threw together, or didn't really throw it together, but I fixed it. So I can move some wood and stuff. Just like a golf cart rear end. But here's my fix to that gas tank, apple cider vinegar. So what I'll do is I'll use this, and then I'll strain it, and I'll reuse it again, and I'll probably try to keep it around. Because it's cheap, it's $4 a gallon, so some people may pay more than that for gas around here. But yep, I gotta figure out how I'm going to get this tank plugged without ruining a Petcock, and we'll get this thing soaking. Probably do 2 days or a day and a half. I already rinsed it out, so as bad as what you guys can see it, I had already actually rinsed it once with the just with the garden hose and sloshed it around and emptied it 2 or 3 times. But it'll be nice to get her all cleaned up and get her working good. So here's the knockoff one I bought, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably could have gotten away with just drilling these rivets out, which I still might do. Drilling these rivets out real quick, and then just because I think it's just the seal that's bad behind here. But these are all dry rotted out too, so I think I probably have some of those in a carburetor kit somewhere. And the screen for the where are you guys? Screen for the I think it's supposed to be for the reserve. It's pretty clogged. And then this other O-ring or seal, whatever you want to call it, was pretty bad too. So a little bit of carb cleaner and we'll get her going. So I got to figure out something to get that bottom plugged, and then we'll go ahead and get her soaking. So we'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright, so up next, got to get this gasket off and see if I can take this apart or figure out what's going on there, or blow some air through it and see if it's working. Got to make sure that I got a good vent there. Quick life hack. Only these work good for used oil when you want to stain stuff, but now they're gas cans. My grandpa next door that I grew up next to, he's never really grew up with a whole lot of money or whatever, so he's pretty good at coming up with things that save you money, and he's always had these as gas cans. So let me go out and show you what else I've been up to. Got the garage, or the barn, or whatever you want to get it called, set up somewhat. Still got to run power out here. For now we're just running extension cords, but started getting stuff hung up. You know, trying to get somewhat organized. Got a workbench in, big shelf up there, bunch of signs. My cooking stuff over here, my torches, and you know, air compressor and stuff like that over here. But got a nice little fire pit set up. It's not mine, it's just a rim I borrowed from one of my uncles. So we use that for, you know, having quick fires. But here's what I've been working on. This roof was already here. Just the roof portion was there, and I added this cross piece, this board here, and then of course I added the walls to use for parking and storage for the just random stuff. Like I got a double chair, and then I got my yard tools, stuff like that, hung up in here. And you know, I have a little bit of space and stuff like that, so I can store at least one 3-wheeler in there. Probably just throw a tarp door on it for now. A nice Honda ATC drive sign. And then I oil stained this morning with we'll call it used motor oil, unless you work for the EPA, and then we'll call it stain. Works good to hold off the weather. Just something quick. It was basically, I had a cousin who had a couple of pieces of these chipboard left over, and this is just some scrap rough cut lumber I had. It's not square, it's not level, it's not perfect, but it's just a lean-to. And then I got around to staining my doors yesterday before they warp all up and get too wet. Gotta cut a little drainage ditch across here, down in there, to get that draining out better. Gotta move this stuff. Gotta do a little bit more raking and get the garbage out of the way. But got the sorry guys, I'm all over the place. Got so much stuff I've got to get caught up on. Got this soaking. I don't know if you can see it in there or not. It's just about full. Put 2 gallons in. I think it's like a 2.5 gallon tank. So I'll lay it on this side for a little bit, then I'll lay it on that side, then I'll tilt it back. Probably let her go for about a day and a half or 2 days, something like that. Another project I've been working on, since I'm getting you guys all updated. Found a post for this. Just got to cement it in the ground. First day I went to Lowe's and bought screws and stuff to work on the shed. I got a bag of Quikrete, so probably extend this a little bit, weld on something longer, and put like a T on the bottom or something a little bit bigger. Then find a spot, dig a hole, bury that. And I got this deal here. Took the bung out of it, or the valve out of it. These make a cool little, I don't know, like wood stove, or not really a wood stove, but maybe. I flipped one over one time and made a little kind of a grill out of it or something. A little rocket stove type deal. But works as a good tank. Before I just drilled a bunch of holes in here. Could have put a grate on there. You could cook almost with like cast iron or something. And I cut a door into it and put a chimney in the back and had a couple holes in the front. So I don't know what I'll do with this one, but it was gonna get taken to the dump or given away anyway, so I started messing with it. Probably never get around to it. Got the chiller fixed. Truck's parked. Update on the truck. Got her home, everything was perfectly fine. The first time I started it, moved her out the trailer, everything was good. Moved it again later on that day. It must be the battery fell out the rest of the way. Arced out a bunch of wires, burned the entire wire harness. I thought I just went to the module that runs your cruise control, but it actually went to something else too. And next thing you know, I was driving the next day and the gauges stopped working. Blew a fuse, so I checked the fuse, put a different one in, and blew it immediately, so I knew it was burned somewhere. I chased wires and cut off stuff I didn't think I needed, and then took it to the store a couple days later, drove it all around, went and picked up lumber, drove it to Brazier Falls, New York, about 30-35 minutes away, and then drove it to pick up lumber and brought it home and took it to town, and took it to the store one morning, and then jumped back in and went to get ready to leave the store, and all of a sudden it just sounds like she's running on about 3 cylinders. I had a baby at home. So I don't know, we'll see. She's parked for the winter anyway because the tags run out this month. So hopefully find a better spot for that. 350X over there. I got that cleaned up, tighten the chain. I gotta loosen up the valves on that, I think, a little bit. I think they're a little tight because once she warms up, she loses idle a little bit. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but the foot peg, too far away, foot peg bolt broke off, or maybe it wasn't tight or something. Haven't really ridden that one much, and I noticed it the other day, so I got a spare frame and a bunch of spare bolts. Gotta move some more junk. My stepdad likes to collect, so we gotta move some more stuff or whatever around. But I'm happy to have a little place to be able to store stuff. And I can store motors and shit upstairs if I wanted to. It's only about a 4 or 5 foot ceiling in one spot, and then the other end's like 3 foot. But anyway, keep you guys updated and let you know what this gas tank turns out like and what we figure out with the Petcock. We'll get her back going. We'll get that tire fixed, and we'll do some other repairs and maintenance. Here's the update on the outside of the shed. Got the tarp door up. Got these doors stained and got the latch on, so I'll show you more of that in a minute. As you can see right now, the tarp door is tied up. Got the big red in there. I'll show you how this works. Just right here, happen to find these. I just clip it, unclip it, and then it lays down. It's got a board on the bottom for weight, and then it's wrapped up here around the board like 3 times, and then it's roof and nailed on that board. And that board is actually screwed into here, so it's not going to go anywhere, not going to rip. Here's the big red. This is a box that I had. Well, I didn't have it. My uncle had it and gave it to my dad. My dad had it on a 4-wheeler. He traded the 4-wheeler in, so I took the box. I cut these holes for the headlights, and then I had to drill the holes to mount it to the rack, and then I painted it real quick just so it'll not weather as much. I'm gonna try to get you guys in and show you the gas tank real quick. Don't know if you'll be able to see it in here. It's been a couple, probably 2 weeks since I've done it. Yeah. You guys see it in there, can you? Probably not. I'll go get a light. So here's the tank. As you can see, pretty clean. Try to get you guys a good. Yeah, she's all cleaned up, man. So I've been riding the big red every day, pretty much. Now I got that. It's just the only one that I have that's electric start and it has reverse and stuff. So I'm taking it out in the woods and everything like that. You know, I got my boy on there with me, and it's got racks, so I can throw, you know, my box and stuff on there, or my cooler or whatever. And then now I got this box up here, so I can just throw my junk in it whenever I get ready to leave. So it's just handy to have. But that's pretty much the update on that. I didn't change oil, waiting on a filter to come in the mail, and I did check valves. Everything was good there. And knock on wood, it's been running pretty good, and the battery's been holding up pretty good for a cheap Walmart battery. So we're keeping that one as it is. Here's the 185S. Kevin Brassard, if you're watching, you might recognize this one because it's the one I bought off you a couple years ago. I did a video on this server earlier last year, something explaining what it was. 125M gas tank, a Suzuki rear rack on the front, a 200 ES rack on the back, straight pipe Ford tractor exhaust, and all that kind of shit, whatever. But I rode it a couple times and the clutch slipped so bad. I tried to adjust it, and it was all the way out to the max adjustment. So took the clutch out, had another bottom end, changed the clutch, actually both clutches over from the other one. They looked a lot better, and for some reason it still wants to slip. So double read the manual like 3 or 4 times, making sure that I was adjusting it correctly, and I was, but it just slips for some reason. So I don't know, maybe it's just something in the side cover or something in the adjustment screw or whatever. But I got this done, got this trench. It's actually rained quite a bit. You can't really see it down there, I don't think. It's actually rained quite a bit. There you go. That's about 4 feet deep. And there's no water right here. This is what I'm trying to get away from, was just the water right here where I walk in. But there's puddles and stuff like right. You see right there. That's a big old puddle, probably 4 or 5 inches deep. So I'll give you. Also got this the other day. I didn't realize it was rotted on the top right here. But to have outside, when you want to grind on something or you want to spray paint something, just handy to have. So I'll just give you an update on the garage. She's all set up, all my tools, pretty much. I gotta go get gas for the welder. I'd like to try out that ESAB plasma cutter there. But yeah, I've been using it. Got a radio and stuff. Haven't used my lathe yet. That's over there in the corner. You can see it. Hung this box here, something I fell beside the road. Gotta clean up. It's just dirty in here already. But as you can see, you know, there's plenty of room to work. You know, I got the 125 in here. I did a whole bunch of work to that, like I told you guys earlier. I did that all in here. Yeah. So, alright, that's pretty much it for updates for now. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me see if I can check me out. I got a month and a half worth of terminal leave facial hair going on. I don't really grow much facial hair, but I don't know. I'm enjoying my time out. I've got like another 20-something days left until I go to work. So that'll be it for now. I'll give you guys an update on the truck and some more updates and show you some more stuff I've been doing since I've been home. So we'll see you guys next time.